It's time for today's travel and cruise industry news. With the latest from travel and cruises around the world, here's your host, Chillie Falls.
Hey, good morning and welcome to a special edition, Sunday edition of Travel and Cruise Industry News Podcast. On this, the 28th day of April, 2024, coming to you from the Carnival Elation. And again, folks, we're having an unexpected day at sea, which I'm going to get to in a minute. However, I was just out literally running all over the ship trying to find a place to do the show. And there's activities going on everywhere. So, I mean, I couldn't find anywhere near quiet enough to do a show. I mean, I don't have to have it really quiet. But still, I mean, it was awful. I mean, not awful. It's busy. They've got things planned for the day. All right. So this is a special show on Sunday simply because tomorrow, no matter how I cut it, is going to be a travel day and makes it virtually impossible for me to do a show. Even if I disembark early and get to the car, remember, I'm not going to have my computer and stuff to work on the show. So I'd have to get on the road, then stop, try to put a show together, and then do it. Yeah, no. So there's just not a show tomorrow. Tuesday we'll come back. Even if I'm on the road, that doesn't matter. I'll be in a hotel. Or if I make it home, I'll do it from home. So we'll play that one by ear. But tomorrow's show, there will be no show tomorrow, so we're doing a show today. Plus, there are a couple news stories that we have to cover. Today's headlines. Issues continue for two ships, and I'm on one of them. Carnival buys 5,000 trees. Also going to mention a Coast Guard challenging rescue from the Konningsdam. Royal Caribbean and Hard Rock. I have some thoughts on this one. And a little about Margaritaville at Sea, Islander, and lots more here at 11 o'clock this morning. If you're listening via the podcast, you can always access the podcast via my blog, which is accessadventure.net, or wherever you get your podcasts from. All the big guys have it. All you have to do is search for Travel and Cruise Industry News, and up pops the Fat Travel Guy. Anytime you're listening to the podcast and want to jump over to the video feed for pictures, clips, interviews, whatever, there's always a link in the description of your podcast so you can do just that. All right, before I get to the news this morning, do have a couple things to share with you. I was actually trying to upload something from myself this morning just a few minutes ago, and it wouldn't upload. So they're doing the towel animal thing. And so you got, 500 towel animals up all over the pool deck, which I've seen that before. So I did a quick little video about the invasion of the towel animals. And then over in front of the table in front of the bar, there's 3 towel animals sitting on that table and a pack of cigarettes. So I was talking about they even have a smoking section for the invasion of the towel animals. So I was going to be a little silly. But anyway, back to more serious things. Pittsburgh Jason was in, he and Jen were in Europe. And one of the things they did in Barcelona, they went to a festival in Barcelona. And here's one of the clips that Jason posted. That's the wrong clip. And then the other clip that I played by mistake is this one. They went to the cathedral in Barcelona, which I've been there many times. I think it's one of the most beautiful cathedrals in the world, but that's just my opinion. Now, unfortunately, Jason also posted a couple YouTube videos. And one of them was, Jennifer can do dialogue, history dialogue everywhere. So he had one of the clips of Jennifer doing dialogue, which he turned into a YouTube video. You'll have to go to his channel and check it out. Both of them were really good. I can't download them from YouTube. So anyway, that's Jason, and they're back home now. So, but they went over on the Legend, and then spent a little time in Europe and came home. So, all right, we got to get to the news, folks. So, the top story today, of course, comes from the fact that there are two ships that have issues, and those issues continue. One of them being this one, unfortunately. Serious issues continue for two ships, Carnival Elation and Radiance of the Seas. Yesterday, shortly after all aboard from Nassau, so it would have been like 3:30, 3:45 in the afternoon, Captain Lorenzo Lombardi announced that due to the engineering team needing extra time to resolve the issues Carnival Elation has been experiencing, our visit to Freeport, that was to be today, was being canceled. Now, our visit to Freeport has already been moved once. We sailed on Thursday. We were supposed to be in Freeport on Friday. They moved that to Sunday if they got the issues fixed. I was told the issues were fixed yesterday. Obviously, they weren't. So the information I got yesterday by onboard officials, which I reported here, was incorrect. Was that done on purpose? Was that done accidentally, or was that somebody speaking that didn't know what they were talking about? I can't answer that one. However, in the announcement the captain made in compensation, $100 onboard credit has been added to each cabin. Plus, of course, a refund of the taxes and port charges. And if you had any kind of a excursion booked, obviously that was refunded. I had the chance to chat with the captain last evening about the truth of the situation. And when he found out, because I first complimented him on the accessibility, wheelchair accessibility on this ship. It's really good. Much better than I expected. Far better than ships of this age. Obviously, they care a lot more than many ships do, and some people should go to school on this ship alone. But so I started off, obviously, on a good light because I was complimenting him about the ship. And he shared some things with me about their plans for their next dry dock, which is, he asked me not to broadcast this, but there's some cool things coming on accessibility issues. But then when I started asking him more about the whole system, it appears that the issues are from the computer that operates the isopod systems, not directly from mechanical issues, which that's what they thought was the issue when we're trying to correct. Well, turns out it's the computer system alone. Carnival Elation speeds have been ranging from 10 to 13 knots since we sailed from Nassau. Normally, this ship sails from 19 to 21 knots, according to the captain. Again, that was a totally opposite of what I was told on Friday. I will say that did not come from the captain on Friday. But so we're sailing along rather slowly. So the first thing, well, is this ship going to get in on time? I just checked our position, and it looks like we are opposite on Florida, like between West Palm and Port Canaveral already. So, I mean, it's not that far to Jacksonville. So clearly we'll be in on time. I'm just wondering what they're going to do to waste some time between now and when we should arrive there tomorrow morning. So I'm not worried at all about us getting in late. All right, so that's our situation. I got a little money on my account. Ah, so my drinks today will be free or be, covered by that. Meanwhile, up in Vancouver, Royal Caribbean has notified guests on board Radiance that the ship will not, in fact, be departed as hoped for after an abbreviated Alaska sailing. The voyage is now canceled completely, and guests will be debarking the ship to be sent home. Now, remember, this is a situation. Originally, they were supposed to have departed on Friday, but an earlier adjustment due to technical difficulties meant that the guests were permitted to board the ship, only it was going to spend 2 days in port undergoing repairs. The revised plans, which I reported on Friday, was to have the ship depart on Sunday, with an adjusted route and calls to IC Strait Point and Ketchikan, along with scenic cruising of the Inside Passage before returning on May 3rd, as per the original schedule. Now the entire sailing has been canceled while the ship continues to undergo repairs for a technical issue impacting its propulsion. Have no idea if that's mechanical or if it's the same kind of we're dealing with here with computer issues. Whatever it is, ships cannot meet their schedule sailing at 13 knots. That's what we're sailing at now. We've during the night and early this morning we were between 10 and 11. Now we've 13. To compensate for the difficulties and late change of plans, all passengers on out there in Vancouver Radiance will get 100% refund plus 100% future cruise credit. In addition to that, their internet service has been free. Their drinks are free. So reimbursements also being provided for change fees from airlines, reservations, and all that, and help to cover hotel costs. These problems, including shifting plans, shortened cruise, and late second cancellations, are eerily similar to propulsion problems Radiance sees. This is not the first time with this ship. While there's no word yet on the next planned departure, excuse me, May the 3rd, and that's to be a one voyage from Vancouver to Seward, that's Anchorage. Guests on that sailing stay alert with potential adjustments in days to come. So, no guarantee they're going to get Radiance fixed. If you recall, several of the ships that have had issues like this have had to go into a full dock to get fixed. So, I don't know. I'm not making any prediction on this. Just stay on your toes, folks. That is what I'm saying. All right. I'll be back with a couple more stories after a quick word from one of our network sponsors. All right. So, Celebration Key, of course, is under construction for the Carnival Cruise Line, folks. And they have completed the first phase of its Plant a Tree initiative, which launched in October. And they met their goal in April, taking just 6 months. Throughout the process, Carnival has been collaborating with local farmers and growers to beautify the port of Grand Bahama Island while also supporting the local economy. During phase one, Carnival bought 5,000 palm trees, all of which were grown on the island from seed, with 40% coming from small-scale community growers. Throughout phase one, Carnival also hosted a tree planting event every week, during which top growers involved with the initiative were given awards for their contributions and gifted commemorative shirts and free dinners. All honorees will also be invited to visit the fruits of their labor at Celebration Key when the private destination opens in 2025. Carnival's now kicking off phase two of the program, and is seeking a variety of 200,000 locally grown plants to continue to bring Celebration Key to life. That's pretty cool, Carnival. Pretty cool. All right, the next story, folks. The Coast Guard made a daring rescue at sea from Konningsdam, Holland America's Konningsdam. A 65-year-old male guest was successfully evacuated earlier this week as the ship was sailing approximately 175 nautical miles west of Tillamook, Oregon, while the ship was en route to Victoria, British Columbia. The guest had been injured several days earlier and required greater continuing medical care than was available on the ship. Passengers on board the Konningsdam reported that there had been announcements made seeking blood donors, though the nature of the guest's injury was not disclosed. Outstanding video footage of the incident was captured by the rescue and evacuation team, giving a first-hand perspective of what these operations entail and how difficult maneuvering safely can be. At all times, however, the patient's safety and that of the team remain a top priority. I've been in the position, folks, to see one of these rescues, and it's amazing. It's absolutely amazing what they are able to do from a helicopter in the wind, in the rain, in storms, and the ship in crazy waters below. It's astounding. So, hats off to the Coast Guard for what they do. Cruise around the world with the Will Model C2. That's the chair that cruise around the world
Why
with
is
the
that not
Will
starting?
Model C2. That's the chair that I use. Our chairs will easily fit. Would you like to see me get chased by a bear? That's interesting. The video clips are not working. Oh well. So we do no commercials today. I'm sure none of you will mind that. That's going to be a commercial spot. All right, so the next story this morning, folks. This was kind of interesting. Royal Caribbean International, which takes in, all of them, but primarily Royal Caribbean and Celebrity, have partnered with Hard Rock International and Seminole Gaming in a first-of-its-kind partnership. Millions of members of the different brands' casino rewards benefits will now enjoy some reciprocal perks and exclusive opportunities, both at Hard Rock locations as well as on board the combined Royal Caribbean and Celebrity Cruise fleets. Now, what I found interesting about this, guys, is it's been my feeling for some time that the future of the cruise industry is not bigger and better as we've been going these last few years. I felt that we eventually will see a marriage of cruising and land based vacations. Prime example has been Margaritaville at Sea. They now have 2 ships. I still believe that what they should do is do a cruise like they do now from, let's say, from West Palm to Freeport. Pick up after they leave Freeport, go to one of the Margaritaville at Sea islands resorts, drop the passengers off, and either that ship or the other ship picks them up 3 or 4 days later and takes them back. So that you've got a combination of sea and land vacations together. Excuse me, I've got a frog in my throat this morning. This is possibly could be moving in that same direction. I don't know where all Hard Rock cafes or Hard Rock places are or Seminole Gaming, but I could certainly see the possibility of a cruise. Let's say even a cruise from Miami that they tie together a day before or a day after a cruise, staying a night in Miami and going to the Hard Rock Cafe there in Miami as part of the cruise package. Definitely see something like that happen. But my thought in the future is, so you take a cruise and you go into Miami and you stay there for 3 or 4 days at Hard Rock. I don't even know if they have, hotel facilities there. I've never been there. I've driven past it, but I've never been there. Or a similar facility, a resort facility. You stay 3 or 4 days. The ship comes back and picks you up, and you go back to your original port. I think that's in the future, folks. Just saying. So, all right. Speaking of the devil, Margaritaville at Sea Islander has completed her sea trials. So, after undergoing a major conversion at Harland and Wolff Shipyard in Belfast, they ran a series of sea trials, just like on a brand new ship. According to Margaritaville Sea, the vessel passed all of the tests with flying colors. The sea trials took place in the Irish Sea. All right. That actually is going to end the news portion of today's show. I have no idea if anybody's in the chat room or not, so let's go see. I realize this is a special broadcast. I don't count on a lot of people being here, but that's okay. All right. Mike's with us. Hi, Mike. Joanne's here. Gretchen's here. Good morning, everybody. Pittsburgh Jason's with us. Last day of my 14-day trip, Chillie and friends. Yep. So, oh, you're not home yet. You're still on the trip. I thought you guys were home. All right. Today's the last day. All right. Good to know, Jason. Thank you for the clips, by the way. I love that cathedral. And I'm not a Catholic, but I've been there a couple times, and it's just, I just, I'm in just total awe of that. Katie's with us. Good morning. Hope you're having a great time. Actually, Katie, yes, I am. The ship I've just been blown away with how well they do on accessibility issues. The staff are extraordinarily attuned to anybody with disabilities. I've even noticed it down to there's a couple at my dining room table where, there's three ladies and another couple, and he is blind. The waiter even when he brings his dinner, and the waiter cuts it up for him. So it's just, I don't know. It's just, I've been just amazed at the way they do things on this ship. And again, I wasn't counting on much. Older ship, it's not near as loud and rambunctious as other Carnival ships that I've been on. Now, maybe that's because it sails from Jacksonville and that's not a hot port. And because this is an older ship and doesn't have some of the bells and whistles that the newer ships have, maybe the rambunctious crowd is going other ways. But it's been pretty much a delightful cruise. Very relaxing. I have one little thing yet that I want to film, and I've gotten all my filming done. I've had a reasonable Wi-Fi signal. The main problem is I haven't had a good place to do the show from. I like to be out in the public, and uh, there wasn't a comfortable place like in the buffet that I could just grab a table and set up. Um, there's not any like little alcoves that I've found, or any place along walkways that have tables that aren't in use and something going on in that area. Um, so yeah, that's the only drawback. But it's been a really nice cruise. Very nice. Food on cruise ships. But my dinner last night, I had prime rib last night. Well, there was a little bit of gristle in the prime rib, so it was not the best cut of prime rib I've ever had. Flavor was great. The night before, I had chicken parm that was excellent. First night, I had a strip steak, and it kind of sucked. But then strip steaks often do. I'm not a strip steak fan to start with, and I should have known better. But so I wouldn't go waving flags about the food on Carnival Elation. The buffets I've done the buffets as opposed to going to the dining room for breakfast. Buffets have been fun. I went to Guy's Burger Joint. It was great. I did a pizza review. I liked their pizza. So, I mean, it certainly hasn't been, I wouldn't say anything bad about the food. It's just not the best I've had. So, Jonathan, we need help. We are very hungry at the moment. Please help us out. That's another scammer from X. Sorry, no. Steve's with us. Good morning, Steve, out in Kentucky. Love that cathedrals. Yeah, Katie, so do I. Kenneth's with us up in Pennsylvania. Hello, Kenneth. I have decided to book a transatlantic from Lisbon to Buenos Aires, November 21st, 2025. Lisbon to Buenos Aires. Wow. That's pretty cool. Another ex-person, Charlotte, says, how are you doing? Another ex-person, Pretty Shame, says hi. I'm wondering about the ex-people popping in now. That does seem to have very little to do with travel and cruising. Tried to send a super chat, but European network blocked it. Okay. Okay, Jason. Thank you anyway. My only complaint about Carnival is that they allow travel agents to literally take over a cruise with groups. Yeah. Pizza on the Legend was legendary. Well, the pizza here, it goes back to the old Pizza Pirate days, and it's really good. It's a thin crust, but it's a kind of a crunchy thin. It's not floppy, greasy like some thin crusts are. I just really liked it. So I'm probably going to do pizza again today. Anyway, I'm enjoying the cruise. Despite the issues. I mean, the issues haven't affected the cruise any, other than we lose a port of call. But it's probably is being beneficial because it's a little rough out there today. But we're going so slow. Every now and then you'll get a little sway involved, but it hasn't been bad at all. All right, guys, that's going to wrap up my special broadcast, my special Sunday broadcast. I will see you again on Tuesday, unless something major happens, and then I'll try to cover it. But I will see you guys again on Tuesday, either from home or from a hotel on the way home, uh, whichever. I'll see how I feel driving. I've not driven that long at one stretch since I've been back driving a lot. So I don't know. I've been breaking that into 2 days, although it's a little shorter to Jacksonville than like to Port Canaveral, even though it's not far from Jacksonville to Port Canaveral. But that difference in trying to push 1 day and 2 days for me is a big difference. The other thing you'll notice, I'm wearing short sleeves today. My finally got my room temperature that I'm comfortable. It's taken me 3 days to do that. Yeah, the air conditioning just kills me. So when I was in Nassau, I'll mention this before I go, guys. When I was in Nassau yesterday, I wanted to go to the Junkaroo Museum. Pulled in the front door and asked what it costs to get in the museum. It's $11, which isn't bad, but they had to have the thermostat set at about 60 degrees. It was like an iceberg in there. And I didn't have a sweatshirt with me because, outside it was hot. So I said, yeah, no, can't do this. So, yeah, I just, again, that's old age and chemo drugs. I'm just not comfortable in the real hot air conditioning. So, all right, guys, that's going to wrap it up for today. Thanks for being with me. please smash that thumbs up button. That would be very helpful. If you haven't subscribed, please consider doing so. I'm still trying to get to 10,000 subscribers by the second Tuesday of next week. So smash that thumbs up button and also subscribe. The bell notification tells you when I go live or when a new video is posted. All right, that's going to wrap it up for today. I'll see everybody again on Tuesday. For now, stay safe, stay healthy, think about cruising, and hopefully one day soon we'll all get together on the high seas. You guys have a fabulous day. Later, y'all.
I regularly post videos on all facets of the travel and cruise industry, so if you like to keep up with the latest in cruise ships, ports of call, cruises themselves, chilly chats, and travel and cruise industry news, just hit the little subscribe button in the lower right-hand corner, hit the bell notification so you'll be notified when a new video is up or we go live. This video was produced by Chilliescruises.